Good evening, good evening. How y'all doing today? My name is Irma J. Just to continue on, excuse me with the cutoff. Where we left off at, we talking about this man prophesied against Ai. The word from God had came to him to pass this on to Ai. We left off at now God is raising up this boy Samuel, to be his anointed one. Refer to the king, that God was saying that his faithful priest will serve his king forever. Now, God is raising somebody up, to be the priest that God wants him to be, or how it should be, because the way that Eli's sons were doing is not the way that it was not pleasing to God. And by Eli, he got three positions. He is a father, he is a judge, and he also is a priest. So he was supposed to he explain to his sons, what they was not supposed to do and how God want them to operate and conduct themselves as a priest. So now you see distress in the dwelling. Do good will be done to Israel. But no one in the family of Eli, will ever reach old age. So he's saying they will never reach old age. You know, but he will allow some of them to live. Excuse me. But he will allow some of them to live. You know how God operates. Now God can raise this son up, this boy up, and mold him in the kind of person, a priest that's supposed to be. And God gonna spare some of them to be alive so they can see how a priest supposed to be operating. So every one of you that I do not cut off, so God not gonna cut all of them off right then and there, from serving at my altar. But I will spare on it, to destroy the sight of snap your strength. God gonna take their strength away, and all your deceiving that will die in a prime time. They're gonna be in the middle age because God not gonna let them see old age. So God will cut them off and he leave one to spare. He gonna leave some to spare and will destroy and will snap their strength, and all his family would die in prime time. Like now, remember they will not reach old age. So and what happened? What happened? What will happen to the two sons? The two sons will be a sign, to you that they will both die on the same day. See, God gonna use his two sons as a sign. They had no regrets for God, the way they was operating as a priest. So God can use them as a sign. Use them as a sign that both of them will die on the same day. So I will raise up for myself a faithful priest. What God mean, I'm gonna raise Samuel up as a faithful priest, and he will be faithful. Who will do according to what is in my heart. See, God wants them to be a priest that's supposed to operate like in his heart. See, God write everything down, purpose down. He write everything down. And he wants somebody to be a priest that's gonna be in his heart. They're gonna be pleasing to him in his heart and mind. So I will firmly establish his priestly house, and there will be militant before my anointing one always. Now he's stating this, to Samuel. He letting them know. I'm raising up someone. I'm raising someone up that to be a minister. They're gonna be a priest, and they're gonna be faithful to me. So God will raise up Samuel to be that faithful person, that be that faithful priest. To be what he wants him to be in his heart and his mind. So God already has someone else in mind already. So God will establish him to be a priest and a minister before my anointing. Always. And then everyone that left in a family line, he spare some of them, will come and they gonna buy down. And see, that's how God operates. God gonna leave some of them in his household. He gonna leave some of them there. And see, when God get ready to announce this boy, you know, to be a priest. He gonna be a minister. He gonna be the king over Israel. You know, he gonna bring them in front of the ones that could not be a real priest that God had wanted them to be. And he gonna allow them to bow down in front of this boy here. You know, they're gonna have to bow down. They're gonna have to bow down. You know, so then everyone left in their family line, you know, will come, you know, and bow down before him, you know, for a piece of silver, you know, and a loaf of bread, you know, and appointed him to some priestly office. You know, he gonna pray, you know, he gonna appoint him a priest right in front of them, you know, and right in front of them, you know. So just like he did with David, you know, all his brothers right there in the north of David, you know. So when God raised him up, you know, and anointed him, you know, to be all these things that he had all them to do, you know, to be the priest that God want him to be, you know. So when Samuel ministered, you know, what left for Eli, you know, family line will bow down to him when God announced who he is. You know, see, right now, they don't know too much about this boy right now. You know, all they know, they probably didn't even know the mama dropping him off. All they know that this boy is living under our roof. You know, but God gonna announce this boy. He gonna announce him. He gonna announce that he is a minister. He gonna announce that he is a priest. He gonna announce that he is a king over Israel. You know, and all because Eli's sons took advantage of their position. And some people will take advantage of their position. You know, they had a powerful position. You know, and they took advantage of that position, having sex with the Israelite and everything else. You know, and that God did not want them to be a priest like that. He didn't want them to take advantage of their position and mess over other people. When you in position, you can't mess over other people, and that's what his sons was doing. You know, so now God raising someone up. They're gonna be faithful. They're not gonna be doing wickedness with the Israelite and stuff. You know, the Israelite is called chosen people. You know, so you can't do them wrong and get away with it. You know, so you misusing the women of the Israelite. You know, so you know, Eli did not have a strong discipline, you know, action. You know, he didn't have a strong discipline and action. Instead of him discipline his boys, you know, he honored his boys before God. You know, he honored his boys before God. And that's what he messed up at. That's the same thing Moses did. You know, Eli is he is a father. He was a judge. He was a priest, and he also was over the Israelite. You know, but then he honored his boss. Then he was supposed to honor God. He was supposed to say, "We is a priest under God, and God don't want you to be doing the type of things that you're doing." As a priest, you can't take advantage of your position. Now, see, he had little conversation with his sons. He said, "I heard what y'all did," and he just left it alone. And that's all he said. You know, he didn't have a strong discipline with his boy. He did not honor God that you is a priest under God. That we are a priest under God, and this how God don't want you to operate like this. That's what he was supposed to be. He was supposed to honor God, that you working under God, and this what you're doing. God's name did not even come up when he was talking to his boss, meaning he was not honoring God. He was honoring his sons, and that was not good in God's eyesight. You know, so God already. That's why God. Oh, that's why God placed that baby in Hannah, because God already know what he wanted that boy to be. You know, be what God want him to be in God's heart and in his mind. And this boy turned out Samuel gonna be a good. He gonna be a good leader. He gonna be very faithful to God. You know, he gonna be a guideline for Saul and David. You know, he gonna be a leader. You know, and he gonna be just what God want him to be, and he gonna do just what God want him to do. You know, so that's all the news and the word I have for you. We talk about this tornado had hit in Maryland. You know, it had so much damage, but thank God, and, you know, no one was killed. Everyone was alive. You know, and I also talk about the world is unfair. You know, they unfair. You know, you can't look at nobody too hard, or you can't stand in front of the door without they shooting and they're using that. Oh, I was fear. I was just so scared. I thought he was gonna do this. No, you have to get out of that, because action gonna start taking place. You can't be reckless. You know, gun violence, because you're killing innocent people. You know, and the real people that doing the real crime is still out there wandering around, but all the innocent people is getting killed. You know, so you some people is in fear, and some people using it as an excuse to get off on a crime. You know, so we talk about that. So we just talk about the prophecy. This man, um he prophesied over against the house of Eli. You know, the word came from God. You know, and to pass down to Eli. You know, that he did not have a strong discipline against his boys. You know, so he was letting them know how God feels, just how God feels. You know, so that's all I have for you today. Y'all have a blessed and safe day, and I'll see y'all on the next video.